Now the next part of this chapter. The first part, that's the reproductive health related problems and strategies we have discussed. Next part, that is birth control devices. Okay, next part for the birth control devices. Birth control methods, or other term that we call contraceptive. Remember, contraceptive, or we call birth control methods. These methods, okay, they are either preventing that sperm transport towards the ovum, or else prevent ovulation, or preventing implantation of early embryo in the uterus. Either or. Some of the birth device control devices are there. They help in to prevent sperm transport towards the ovum. Some are there to prevent ovulation. Some are there to prevent implantation. See, ultimately, this all devices that help that they are acts as a birth control devices, preventing the sperm transport towards the ovum. See, if sperm cannot reach to the ovum, fertilization cannot be takes place. If fertilization, no, if the fertilization will not happen, then no implantation, no pregnancy. Second, preventing ovulation. If ovum is not formed, then though the sperm is available, no fertilization, no pregnancy. Next, preventing the implantation of early embryo. Here, fertilization takes place. Embryos, okay, fertilization, then gradually the embryos zygote to embryo formation. But at which stage? At early embryonic stage, this birth control devices are worked. This early embryo, you know that implantation occur, okay, at the endometrial wall with the help of the trophoblast chorionic villi. So this implantation should be occur at the C, in the wall of the endometrium. If you remember, in the wall of the endometrium, these embryos are embedded in the half of that. So prevent that implantation. If implantation does not occur, these early embryos, okay, these early embryos are stuck. So preventing implantation of embryo in uterus, preventing ovulation, and preventing sperm transfer to ovum. On this birth control devices work, and that these methods we call contraceptive methods. So many different methods are there. First method, that is the natural method. In that, see, no nothing no any kind of the device is used. Device is placed with that the reproductive structure to avoid that fertilization, copulation, other things. So this type of methods we call natural methods. This natural method, they avoid, remember this first, they avoid the chances of ovum and sperm meeting. They avoid, they work on which principle? They avoid the chances of ovum and sperm meeting. See, it's a natural method, so their side effects are nil. But here, the failure of these natural methods chances are very high. Now, which are these different natural methods? Basically, three natural methods are there. First natural method, that we call periodic abstinence or rhythm method. And in simple term, I can say that temporary period to which avoid the coitus or the mating. So periodic abstinence, or else rhythm method, or else remember temporary avoidance of the coitus or mating. Now, in this method, you know the menstrual cycle, uterine cycle. Can you tell me on which day ovulation takes place if cycle for 28 days, regular cycle generally in 28 days. So on which day ovulation takes place? 14, right? So at the 14th day ovulation takes, and do you know the viability period of ovum? Viability means how much time once it released from the ovary enter into fallopian tube, for how much time it can be alive, it can be able to fertilize, can be fertilized by sperm. Correct. 24 hours means 1 day, right? Next, do you know the viability period of sperm in female genital tract? Once the sperms enter into female genital tract, 5 to 6 hours? No, hours nahi, days. Hours wrong. Maximum 3 to 5 days. Sperms can be alive. Okay, 1 day for remember ovum. 3 to 5 days maximum. See, it's depend on the sperm capacity. Some of the sperm that can be remain alive for 5 days, some can be for 3. So one range is that 3 to 5 days sperm survive in female reproductive tract. So now you know that on the 14th day ovulation takes place. But see, some of the females they experience not exactly 28 day cycles, it might be 32 days cycle, or it may be 24 26 day cycle, not exactly 28. Very few experiences this 28 day cycle, right? So depending on the days of that cycle, that ovulation day 28th है तो 20 that's the 14th day, right? So 24 है तो उसमें भी थोड़ा changes आ जाएगा, same for 32 days, right? Some of the females experience shorter menstrual cycle, some of the females experience longer menstrual cycle. So here one range is given, 14 to hai, then next range is given, that's the 10 to 17 days. 10 to 17 days for all females. If she has the regular cycle or longer menstrual cycle, shorter menstrual cycle, for all, one range is given, that's the 10 to 17 days, right? First day of menstruation, first day of the menstrual phase, okay, when the endometrial lining shading starts, that we call the first day. First day say 10th day, and 10 to 17, 1 week at least. So in this period, that is the most fertile period, we can say that that is the most fertile period, means the chances of ovum release from the ovary, that is very high. Chances of ovum released into the, from the release from the ovary to that fallopian tube, that are very high. So that's why we call this 10 to 17 days period, it's a fertile period, right? So in this day, if mating occur, then chances of fertilization increases. Yes or no? Chances of fertilization. So ovum and sperm meet with each other, fertilization takes place, and then further that's a pregnant. It will lead to the pregnancy. So here in natural method, no any here do not use any kind. Don't use any kind of device over here to avoid the meeting of that sperm and ovum. Just simply avoid the coitus, avoid the mating, avoid the copulation during this time, during these days, 10 to 17 days. Okay, couple should not uh, mate with each other, that perform copulation. So fertilization chances decreases. because this is the fertile period. Once the fertile period gets over, then no chances for the fertilization. But still, that effectiveness is limited. That's why one of the line is given over. That's why one of the line is given over here, that natural methods failure chances are high. Now you can easily understand this, right? Next, so first method, remember, periodic abstinence or rhythm method. Couple should avoid coitus from day 10 to 17 of menstrual cycle because ovulation can occur during this period. This is the most fertile period, 10 to 17 days. In that, chances of fertilization very high. So if coitus avoided during that time, then it will not lead to the pregnancy. But still, effectiveness is limited. It depends on the individual. Clear? Second method that we call coitus interrupts or the withdrawal method. Coitus interrupts or the another name given, that's the withdrawal method. Now, during copulation, during mating, or during coitus, male partner, okay, withdraw his penis from the vagina of the female reproductive tract just before ejaculation. Ejaculation meaning what? Okay, the liquid, that's the semen which comes from the male penis, that we call that we call the ejaculation at the time. To avoid insemination means deposit that semen into the female genital tract. So to avoid insemination, just before ejaculation means just before the time when the from the male penis that semen comes outside to the female reproductive tract. At that time, male partner should withdraw his penis. So now semen not enter into the female reproductive tract. If not semen, then no sperm. If no sperm, no fertilization. Okay. So second method that we call coitus interrupt or withdrawal method. Male partner withdraw his penis from vagina just before ejaculation to avoid insemination. ये दो मीनिंग टर्म्स के मीनिंग क्लियर होने चाहिए, इजेक्यूलेशन एंड इंसेमिनेशन. Insemination, remember, the deposition of semen in female genital tract, and ejaculation, okay, the liquid part that comes out of the male penis, the time. Third method, third natural method that we call lactational amnoria, that we call lactational amnoria. You know the meaning of amnoria. You have learned this thing. Can anyone tell me what is amnoria? No menstruation, right? Menstrual cycle does not occur. Okay, absence of menstruation by so many reasons are there. Gestational amnoria hota hai, means during pregnancy, no menstrual cycle, that we call gestational amnoria. Lactational amnoria, name suggests lactational, lactating, breastfeeding time. Okay, after delivery, after parturition, that lactation period is there, breastfeeding period is there. So at that time, see one thing, can you tell me which hormone is responsible for this, for that milk secretion? Which hormone for milk? Prolactin, right? Prolactin hormone. Good, Krisha. All of you good. Very good. So this prolactin hormone level high at that time during the breastfeeding, prolactin hormone level high because enough amount of that milk should be formed into the breast to feed the newborn babies. So pH hormone, or we call prolactin hormone level, very high at that time, and that gives negative impact. This hormone level high, that gives negative impact on GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, so by that way, gonadotropins are two, FSH and LH. FSH and LH hormone level very reduced, okay, insignificance at that time when prolactin hormone level very high. Remember. So in this case, in this at this time, without FSH and LH, can menstrual cycle occur? Tell me. Without FSH and LH, can menstrual cycle occur? No, right? FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Without FSH, primary follicle to secondary, tertiary grafting follicle cannot be formed. And without LH, ovulation does not occur. Then corpus luteum will not form, right? So remember, prolactin hormone level high. See, it is a natural hormonal method. ये याद रखना, नीट में ये पॉइंट से एक बार एमसीक्यू आया था. Here the main mechanism is what? Lactational amnoria है कि during breastfeeding time no menstrual cycle. But here the main principle for that hormones, prolactin hormone, that level high, that gives the negative impact on that gonadotropin releasing hormone. And so FSH and LH will not form. And without them, menstrual cycle cannot occur. Okay. So ovulation not takes place without that, without LH, no ovulation. So during that time, okay, particularly first understand, no ovulation, no menstrual cycle during the period of intense lactation following parturition, means after childbirth, lactation period, when intense lactation is there. Then at the time, therefore, as long as mother breastfeed the child fully, means child depend only on that's the mother's milk, breast milk, the chances of conception are almost nil, almost nil. Okay, for maximum this thing up to 6 months. Remember, maximum up to 6 months. Maximum up to 6 months. Mother breastfeed the child fully. Okay, the chances of conceptions are almost nil. To conceive a child, okay, it's conceive the pregnancy, okay, that thing is very, the chances are almost nil. Why? Because ovulation ही नहीं होगा. Why ovulation does not occur? Because the FSH, LH are not available due to that high level of prolactin. So no ovulation, no menstrual cycle, and if ovum is not available, though the sperm is enter into the female reproductive tract, no fertilization takes place. So it's a natural birth control method. It's a one kind of natural hormonal birth control method. Remember here that up to maximum for 6 months. One more thing is that you should understand. See, maximum word hai, not for that's a compulsory for 6 months. Up to the 6 months. Some of the okay mothers are there, they can get their menstrual cycle back within 1 month only, 2 months, 3 months. So maximum up to 6 months. Remember, clear? Depends on the individual hormonal regulation. Understood? Natural methods. birth control devices. Tell me the name of the first natural birth control devices. Rhythm method, another name. Periodic abstinence, correct. Periodic abstinence, rhythm method, right? Next, in this method, couple should avoid coitus during which days of menstrual cycle? Correct. 10 to 17 days of that menstrual cycle. Next, this is the most fertile period, right? Why should avoid the coitus during this 10 to 17 days of menstrual cycle? Yes, chances of fertilization is very high. Why पूछा है कृषि आप क्या लिख रहे हो? High, why that's the high chances of fertilizations are very high, right? Because that is the most fertile period in which the ovulation takes place. Their side effect is their side effects are very high or something else. Side effects कैसे होंगे? नील, करेक्ट. नेचुरल मेथड्स कोई भी आए, पीरियोडिक, coitus interrupt or lactational amnoria, side effects are nil. Next, second, okay, so no coitus during that period 10 to 17 days, no if ovulation takes place but sperms are not available, and no it will leads to no fertilization process. Then second natural method, correct, coitus interrupt. Another name of this method, another name of this method, withdrawal, correct. Here, male partner withdraw his penis from vagina just before, correct, ejaculation. Okay, to release the semen from penis to female reproductive tract. To avoid which process? Good. Insemination. Just before ejaculation, to avoid insemination. So semen is will not enter into the vagina. So if ovulation takes place, but again sperms are not available, so no fertilization. It's a natural method. Third method, lactational amnoria. Meaning of amnoria. इसको शॉर्ट में लैम मेथड भी बोलते हैं. LAM, lactational amnoria method. Absence of menstruation. Amnoria का meaning है absence of menstruation. Now, in this method, this method is effective maximum up to this method is effective maximum up to 6 months after maturation. Next, this is one kind of the hormonal natural method. So during intense lactation, which hormone level rises in female? prolactin hormone, right? That shows positive or negative impact on GnRH. So which hormones will not be formed? FSH and LH. And if FSH and LH are not there, so no menstrual cycle, no ovulation, no follicular formation. All three methods have you learned? Do you have any doubt in these three natural methods? Next, okay, good. Next type of method that we call barrier methods. Barrier, okay, means something one that the structure should be present. Something is present to prevent meeting of ovum and sperm, which creates a barrier between the which inhibits the meeting of ovum and the sperm. So one of the barrier method, first one, that is we call the condoms. Hindi name of this condoms that we call Nirod, that is the popular brand of condoms for male, and for female condom that name Femidome. Remember, for male Nirod and for female Femidome. Next, these condoms they are made up of thin rubber or latex. In male, it covers the penis part, and in female, it covers the vagina and the cervix region. Condoms are available for male and female. In male, it covers the penis part. In female, it covers the vagina and the cervix. These barrier methods are used just before the or mating or copulation. Just before that used to prevent insemination. Can you tell me what is the meaning of insemination? कौन था जिसने fertilization लिखा? हर्ष, हर्ष कोटड़िया. Yes, transfer of sperm to vagina, sperm particularly entire semen, right? So just before the intercourse, these condoms are used to prevent the insemination. The things are remain inside that this thin rubber structure. Okay, when ejaculation occur during the coitus, okay, ejaculation means this when semen comes from the penis part to the vagina, that's the female reproductive part. But over here, this penis, suppose male condoms are there, so penis is covered by the this condoms. So the content that semen is remain inside the that thin rubberous or latex structure. So actually, it will not enter into the female reproductive part. This thing, so that this thing helps to prevent the meeting of sperm and ova. And if no mating, no fertilization, no pregnancy. These are self-inserted after, okay, once it used, it should be the remove disposable, and the, it prevents STI, sexually transmitted infections like AIDS. Okay, sexually transmitted infections are there. One of the example that's the AIDS. This thing can be prevented by using this barrier method. Next barrier method, that is next one is diaphragm, cervical cap, or the vault. I'll show you the peak of this after we will complete this. Diaphragm, cervical cap, or the vault cap. It's a cap-like structure, and these structures are only for females. The earlier one, that is for male and females both, to prevent meeting of sperm and ovum. This one only for females, remember. Same, they are made up of rubber or plastic. Again, they are self-inserted like a previous one. One thing, they are reusable. That is the difference between that condoms and this female diaphragm cervical cap or the vault cap. This thing covers cervix during the coitus. Just before that, the coitus or the intercourse, this diaphragm or cervical cap or the vault cap that inserted into the female reproductive tract, so it covers the cervix region. So whenever the coitus occur, ejaculation occur, semen enter into the female reproductive tract, but at cervix part is covered now with this cap. So from that part, sperms cannot go further into the female reproductive tract. So sperm cannot reach to the fallopian tube, where the main which is the main fertilization site. So no fertilization takes place, then no, it will not lead to the pregnancy. So again, it's a one kind of birth control device. Now, to increase the efficiency of this barrier methods, see barrier methods in that, suppose over here, so ovary, uterus, cervix, and the vagina part. So in the cervix, in this part, this cap-like structure is placed, right? This is made up of just rubber or the plastic. So it might happen during the coitus time, okay? That are the chance. These are the chances are there that sperm, if space is available on the margins, okay, it can easily enter into the female reproductive. So to increase the chances, okay, to increase the chances, increase the, that's the contraceptive efficiency, birth control efficiency, the margins, okay, the margins, edges of these devices are covered with spermicidal cream. Spermicidal creams are available, jelly, foam. This spermicidal cream, jelly, they are used along with this contraceptive barriers, so their efficiency increases. Now the margins, that ends are also sealed, and spermicidal cream has spermicidal, you know, which the chemical which kill the sperm, right? So अगर यहाँ से sperm enter हो रहे, then it will killed by this cream, that chemical. This chemical either in the form of cream, jelly, or the foam. Next thing, so totally here the no chances are there to sperm enter into female reproductive tract, uterus, to then this fallopian tube where fertilization takes place. So no fertilization. So diaphragm, cervical cap, and the vault cap. These are for females, made up of rubber or plastic. They are self-inserted, reusable, covers the cervix region. Their efficiency, to increase the chances of their efficiency, these devices are used along with that spermicidal cream, jelly, or foam. Understood this much information for the barrier methods. Barrier methods clear? A second. So, okay, first we'll revise that. In between, I show that pic. Tell me, which is the first name of that barrier method? First name of barrier method. Correct. Okay. Before that, one more question. You are all are correct. Barrier methods work on which principle? Yes, correct, Halisha. First one. Prevent meeting of ovum and sperm. Correct. All of you write down. Prevent meeting of, correct, ovum and sperm. The first method, that's a condom. They are made up of what? These are made up of what? Yes, thin rubber or latex. Correct. Next, reusable or disposable? Reusable or disposable? Correct. Disposable. Hmm. Next, male condom name. Nirod. Correct. And female. See, this is the cervical cap, vault, and the diaphragm, which is self-inserted. Correct. Femidome. No, these are used. These are used after the coitus, just before the coitus. Which correct. See, so ejaculation of semen occur, but in this condom only. Insemination does not occur. Means semen not released into the female that's a reproductive tract, and in a way it inhibits or prevents the fertilization. Next, second barrier method's name. Cervical cap, diaphragms, and vault, right? They are made up of rubber or plastic, correct. Next, it covers the which female reproductive part? Cervix, right? The diaphragm जो होता है वो particularly entrance जो होता है uterus का उसको cover करता है. Cervical cap particularly for cervix and vault cap, right? That is when the vagina opens into the cervix. At this part, vault cap is placed. Next, they are self-inserted, right? Disposable or reusable? Disposable. Next, to increase their efficiency, contraceptive efficiency, what thing should use with that? Correct, Krisha. Ready with the answer. Spermicidal cream, spermicides, either in the form of cream, jelly, or foam. Apply that on the margins or edges of that. So no chances of that sperm to enter into the female reproductive tract. Tell me, for this barrier methods, what are the side effects? Side effects are too much high or what? No, it could not cause any infection. Side effects are again negligible, nil, because just simple that's the plastics or the thin latex, rubber sheets, very thin sheets are utilized. Here, no chemicals. Okay, spermicidal cream is totally different, but no chemicals which actually disturb the hormonal level to that female. Disturb the hormonal regulation level to the female. So again, remember there. Okay, again remember that their side effects are almost nil. Clear, all of you? Natural methods and barrier methods. बैरियर विद दैट सी स्पर्मिसिडल जो होता है उसको केमिकल मेथड भी बोलते हैं. स्पॉन्ज जो है, वन इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर यू, स्पॉन्ज ओके दैट इज फॉर्म के फॉर्म में जो होता है वो स्पॉन्ज एक होता है, उसका होता है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वो टैबलेट के फॉर्म में होता है विच कंटेन्स द केमिकल विच इज स्पर्मिसाइड. एंड जो स्पर्मिसिडल क्रीम होता है उसमें लैक्टिक एसिड होता है, सिट्रिक एसिड, बोरिक एसिड, potassium permanganate. These chemicals are present which kill the spermatozoa or sperm. Do you have any doubt in today's topic? Have you all understood each and everything? Good. So next further methods and the infertility topic I will take in the next class. Goodbye.